record on this. Okay, got it. Okay, great. So that's an overview of what the 8-week course is like, Springtime Florals. I'm going to send out an email tomorrow because there's an early bird price. And I'm also going to include in that email a little instructional on how to make your own custom printed envelopes, because I just think that these envelopes make the cards just that much more special. And so if you wanted to, send out the card that you're making tonight or the painting that you're making tonight, send it out as a Mother's Day card, or whatever you like, that would be amazing. So it seems like I've got, I guess if there's any absolute beginners, it seems like I've got some experience, like everybody has some experience. Heather, you just put up your hand as an absolute beginner. Awesome. I love that. Okay, so I'll kind of do the absolute beginner thing, but there's not a lot of prep work anyways in helping absolute beginners get started. So the first thing is I use watercolors in pans. This is Daniel Smith, which is a professional, it's a professional brand, like professional artist brand, but there are very many good student grade or sort of mid-grade paints available. The one thing that's nice about watercolors is they go really far. So even if you buy the expensive ones, they kind of last forever. So the first step is activating the paints. And I don't know if you can really see that I've got a sprayer in my hand here. It's not room spray, it's just an old spray bottle that I put water in. And so I just spray down my pans, and that gets them started a little bit. For the water that you clean your brush with and stuff, I have let's see if I can get under the camera. So I just have a Gatorade bottle here. Whoops. So I have a Gatorade bottle filled with water, and then I pour some water in the cap there. The reason is that in the bottle is going to be my dirty water, and then I want to be able to pick up clean water from the cap. So the main thing about watercolors is water. So a lot of people kind of take from the palette directly, and you can take the paint from the palette, but it's very saturated when you do that. So I really only do that when I want to add like dark details. I'm going to just move this up a little bit. So using a palette like this, or using the tin lids, often they come sort of with a built-in palette for you. So I'm going to mix up, I'm going to kind of stick to mimicking that card as well as I can. So I'm going to mix up some yellow in here. And so I'm just adding water to get a nice, really nice watery yellow. Now, where did I put that one that we're using as the, oh, here we go. So this is what we're mimicking. So we'll start on the big flower, and just, I always tell my students to like go, if inspiration has taken over and you want to do something different, or you see like an opportunity to do something, or yours is just kind of going awry, do not feel like you have to stick with the instructions. Please just go ahead and follow your own creativity. But if you want to follow along, that's great too. So I'm using like a big round brush for this, and just starting to shape those petals. And as you may know about watercolor, if I were to put petals right up beside these ones, they would run into each other. So I don't want that effect. So what I'm going to do is give them a little bit of a chance to dry in between. So I'm going to start out with like these 4 like this. And then I just want to get some nice orangey colors running in there. So while it's still wet, adding in those orange bits. And also you can do those along the edges. You can really just kind of do it however you like at this stage. Well, at any stage, really. I'm a big believer in kind of going for it and being free with what you do. So I'm going to just wash that orange off my brush because I don't want it. I want to get back to nice yellow. So now I'm going to try and sneak some petals in between, and I'm being pretty careful to not touch because I don't want them to run sideways into each other. If it does a little bit, it's really not the end of the world, but I should be able to mostly control it. If, by the way, if anybody has questions at any point, just jump in, just unmute yourself and ask away. This is totally intended to be like an interactive sort of fun community event. And I feel like I just want to put a little bit of red into, like, my favorite part of watercolors is getting, in fact, I might just make the center red and then see how that bleeds into the petals. My favorite part of watercolor is how you can blend the colors and have them flow into each other and all that good stuff. I just think it looks so beautiful. I feel like this one yellow petal is a bit light, so I'm just going to add some more yellow. Okay, so switching to a smaller brush, I'm going to start putting these purple flowers in. I might switch the color. Maybe I'll do blue or something instead, just for the heck of it. So same deal, just getting the color watered down enough. So for these little guys, we're just doing like sort of irregular shaped petals. In reality, in nature, flowers are kind of not asymmetrical. They're kind of, they might even have a broken petal or whatever. So it's kind of a good way to paint, to just be kind of free with it and not overly fussy about trying to get them perfect. So just creating some little jaggedy petal shapes here like this. Oh, I like this blue with that yellow. I'm glad I switched from the purple. So one little composition tip, I guess, is that for some reason our eyes don't like our eyes like looking at odd numbered things more than even numbered things. When things are even numbered, we tend to pair them up in our brain. So I'm going to do 5 of these flowers because somehow there's a magic rule that says that that's true. And it's not a rule I follow all the time. I really am a believer that rules are made to be broken. But for some reason, I do find that rule of odds is kind of a good one. Okay, so, oh, I didn't leave any room for this, the tall one on the side, but it doesn't matter. This is all just, it's all just in a picture. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a darker blue in the middle. And I'm kind of trying to time it because these, my blue flowers are quite wet. This one is the least wet. So that would probably, oh, even still the blue kind of took it over, the dark blue. But that's okay, it's kind of beautiful. So I don't regret it. I just want to kind of contain it so that it still has that two-color or two-tone look. Everybody doing okay? Thumbs up?
Yes,
Thumbs
but
up.
I have a question. Do you ever dip your dirty paintbrush in your clean water by accident?
Yep. And also I dip it in whatever I'm drinking all the time. Like if I have a coffee cup or something, I'll be like, oh no, that's my coffee cup. And I've just rinsed my brush out in it. The good thing is that's just easily fixable. That you can just get new clean water or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to start on this. Well, this will be kind of like not exactly the same. I'm going to start on this guy, but I'm going to put him here, I guess. And then this tall one will go kind of up behind here. So let's see what color, maybe like a pinky color. This, I just realized it might be kind of good to demonstrate the brush stroke on something else, because if it's new to you, you might want to practice your brush stroke on a scrap piece of paper. So this is a brush stroke I use a lot, and this is just a round brush. So it starts with a point, and then you spread the brush out like that, and then pull it to a point again. So it's like point, spread, point. And this can be used for leaves, for petals, for anything you want. So I'm going to use that technique for the next flower. But if you want to practice on a scrap page before you do your actual painting, that's totally fine. That, my little practice run was so pretty. I'm like, oh, I hope it works that well for my real one. Okay, so here we go. Hoping for the best. That one's running into the blue flower, but it doesn't matter. If it runs a little bit, I kind of like the look because it just looks very watercolory. But if it runs too much, it can just be a mess, of course. Okay, that little pink one, I'm gonna leave to dry for a bit, except maybe I wanna just sneak in another petal here. Okay, we'll just hope for the best with that. And then I'm gonna do this little kind of viney one. And I think I'll do that orange. Oh, somebody's in the waiting room. I wonder if she's there. Hi, Tara, welcome. So these little orange flowers, I'm gonna just kind of do pointing in all different directions, knowing that they're gonna be coming off of a little stem. Okay, so this pink one is dry. So I'm just gonna go in and do like a dark brown center maybe. So this is the time when I would be taking directly out of the palette because I want a very saturated paint. And I'm just going to test it here because I don't want it to necessarily be like um, too much paint coming off the paintbrush, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm just going around in little dots here, making a center. Kind of like that white, I might just leave it like that. And then I'm going to try something that might ruin the whole thing, but it's okay because it's worth taking risks. I'm going to try dragging some of this brown out a little bit. Just trying to be so delicate with it. Do I like that white center? No, I think I'll just color it in. There we go. Okay. And maybe dark brown too for the yellow flower. Why not? There, maybe just some dots. Okay, time to get some greens going. So what I'm going to do is put 3 different colors of green here in my little, you can tell I always do this. This is my little thing where I put greens when I paint flowers, which is almost every day. Because different shades of the same color, like green, well, that's kind of what you would get in a natural garden, right? You could also add in browns or really just about any other color you want. If that's seriously a green, that's a very dark green. So other ways you can control the amount of water on your brush include wiping it down. So if you want a drier brush, and this all comes with practice, it's like kind of getting used to how much water to have on your brush or to not have on your brush, etc. So I'm just going to go in and try and do some stems. And then I'm just going to add some leaves and grasses down here. Everybody's still following along happily? Nobody's lost? We got some thumbs ups. It's starting to look pretty cute. I hope yours are too. So now I just want to kind of fill in some stems and some leaves and some sort of grasses and things that suggest leaves. Nothing really has to look like anything in particular. I'm going to switch to a very skinny detail brush for this stem for the orange guy. Cut some teeny tiny leaves here. So just adding some darker details to the leaves. I find like the more that you build up layers and add different shades and different colors and stuff, the prettier your picture will look. And I'm just adding some red to these guys to give them a little bit more dimension, I guess. So now it's kind of just fully finishing touches. I'm just looking at Kind of what else needs to be added. I added some little red lines here. This middle part I'm not super happy with. I'm going to just try something else. See if I can get it looking a little bit more solid or something. Don't know what it is I don't love about it. But okay, I am super happy with mine for the most part. I'll just add a bit more green here, but kind of watered down. So maybe it's going to look like it's kind of blurry in the background. Oh yeah, I think that's actually really nice. So like as if there's tall grasses or something coming up. Gosh, it's turning out so cute. Is anyone having like an inner critic attack where they're like looking at what they're doing? Yeah, there you are. No. I think for the first like 6 months that I was starting to get serious about art, I was really, really, really in my head a lot about how bad I was at it and how like I would never get good and all that stuff. So I really encourage you to be gentle with yourself and really embrace that you're learning something new and they don't always turn out. Like I've done workshops where I am doing a painting and I'm like, guys, I hate my painting. I do not like how it turned out. But if you're, my attitude is if you're not making ugly paintings, you're not experimenting enough. And you do really have to experiment to develop as an artist. So I encourage you to be like as loving to yourself as you would to a friend, right? If your friend was learning to paint, you'd be like, oh, that's great. Good for you. You're trying something new. Don't be hard on yourself. Yet when it's us, we just get all like, what are you thinking? Oh, another big mindset shift for me was I had this idea that I was wasting my supplies. Like I had to save my supplies until I got good or something, or like until I had a brilliant idea, or I don't know. And then I realized that when I once I started looking at it like when I use up all this paper, I'll be that much more of a better artist. When I use up these paints, I'll be that much more of a better artist. So I really started to look at using up supplies as part of the process.
What is your recommendation for beginners as far as supplies, paints, and paper?
I can send through a list of some good, like good mid-price brands. So I'll send that tomorrow in the email. I wouldn't say, I mean, there's like Potman student brand. There's a lot of different brands, but I found some on Amazon that I really like that are not, they're kind of like not really a known brand in the art world, but they're really good.
Okay.
because it can be so expensive. I'm sure if any of you have, you know, seen the price of things. The paper can be the most expensive. So one of the most important parts of watercolor is using watercolor paper, because it's just built for holding the paint and the watercolor and the water the right way. But like the top of the line is, well, one of the top of the line brands is Arches, and for a 9x12 pad of I think 12 sheets, it was like $48 or something. Like I remember feeling like this is $4 a sheet, which then if you put it into perspective, like you might work on a painting for a few hours. And if it's going to be a hobby, like, hobbies are expensive. If your hobby is traveling, that's super expensive. If your hobby is, I don't know, skiing or whatever. So, it is an investment. But it's also like as you're learning, you just want to be using more affordable supplies for sure. So I'm just kind of fiddling around here, waiting for stuff to dry. One of the things that I like, I'm not a watercolor purist. Some people are, but I like to use gel pens and paint pens and different things to add accents. So just hold on one second. I'm going to get my white gel pen. So this is a white gel pen, and it is awesome for putting accents on. I might be able to just go right in here. I think this is dry enough. I think it's a bit wet, so it's picking up the paint. It doesn't want to go down. So I can maybe get away with this one. So this is a paint pen. Basically, paint pens are acrylic paint in a marker format, and you have to shake them, and you can hear that there's like a ball or ball bearing or something in there, and then you have to prime it like this to get it rolling. But once it's rolling, it just gives you these gorgeous little dots that can really make your painting pop. So I would probably normally put maybe even yellow dots or little filaments, or I don't know what we call them, but anyway, something in the middle of the blue flowers, but they are still wet. So I'm going to leave that. I also use pencil crayons, like all different kinds of things to put accents on. There's like neon gel pens and stuff like that, so they make really nice accents. So I think mine is done. I'm curious how you all are doing. And if anyone would like to share, if anyone's done-ish and they'd like to share, or just of course, be careful if you've got wet paint on your picture. If you lift it up, it could drip. Jenna, see, I bet you want to share yours.
I do actually. I was just getting it ready. But I have put my hand in it about 6 times, but here's where I'm at.
Wow, it looks so cute. Can I screenshot that?
Yep.
Beautiful. You know what I absolutely love? Putting your hand in it is, I still do that all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, I should learn. Yeah, I should have learned by now. But sometimes it's fine. It's just the way it goes. And then you can make like a smear out of it. I love the way whenever I'm doing like a project with a workshop group, you know, there's like variations on it. Like people, you know, it's kind of the same, but like everybody has a different take on it. And it just is so beautiful. Anybody else want to share theirs? No. Heather, let me
share
put
it.
you on the spotlight. Spotlight for everyone. It is so cute. I love it. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
You want to show yours? No. She doesn't want to show hers.
Oh, she's not going to show it. Okay, that's fine. If anyone else is brave, just give me a wave or just whatever, or unmute yourself, etc. But
What about the Michelle? I want to see theirs. Sorry to call you out. I want to
Michelle,
No, it's okay. It's a little wet, and I've been experimenting with, I don't know if you can see it, one of these brush pens, and I haven't
oh, brush
really,
pens.
oh, yeah, right. I haven't really had much experience with it, so I'm kind of, it's a little bit of a disaster out of it right now.
I'll show you my disaster. I'll show you.
Let's see. I want to see. Oh, you know what? It's tough because you've got the blurred background thing on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You know how to remove that?
I'll see if I can do it while I'm in here. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'll try.
mine is not great by a long shot. But nevertheless, I haven't worked for watercolors for a long time, and I don't have control yet.
Mhm. Let me see.
Yeah,
Oh, well, she has to get it. So anyway,
Mhm.
control is a tricky one.
But
I would
no.
say I definitely don't have control all the time, for sure. Like I'm better than I was a year ago, but it's still
Yeah.
sometimes like,
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if I can fix that.
I don't know if she can fix it or not.
Oh, I know how to do it before I go in, but I don't know about when I'm in it.
right.
Anyway, I'll see. I'll play
Well,
with
no
it.
Hey Jenna, do you know how to tell them to unblur their background? I think actually if you go on the stop video, like if you go on the video and you press the little up arrow, I can see blur my background.
Yeah.
So I would assume that
Oh,
you're saying
wait.
unblur my
Oh, okay. All right. There we go.
Okay, here's the disaster.
It's
Not the
cute.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
It's my first try.
I think it's
Well, getting the hang of it. Let's put it that way.
well, that's exactly why I say you want to be good at painting flowers, paint hundreds of flowers, because
Yeah.
it really, really, really is a practice.
Yeah.
Did you have fun doing it, even if you think it's
Oh,
Sure,
yeah,
I love doing
yeah.
it. It's not.
Good.
It's lots of fun. Lots of fun.
It's not too fun doing it.
Oh,
And
Jen asked.
you know, you can.
This is mine. I'm not quite done it yet. I'm doing 3 more.
She was experimenting with
Okay.
watercolor pens.
This one.
Oh,
Then I'm not
nice.
done. I'm gonna
Wow.
learn to dry and then I'm gonna add details in ink. This one.
Those are beautiful.
And I'm
One more.
working on this one.
Cone flowers.
Oh my goodness, you're
Oh.
prolific.
Wow.
Look
And
at
this
all
is
that
mine.
work you did. It's adorable. Oh, that is so cute. It's very delicate. I love it.
Yeah.
So
I
cute. I'm
was-
so happy.
Yeah, I find that I have a hard time, like I've done watercolor before, like in high school, and I did go to art school, but I didn't take any watercolor courses. Like we did watercolor, like we'd go to like Allen Gardens and just do watercolors, but I didn't do like actual instruction. And I always found it really difficult, like with how sometimes the colors would like dry and be kind of sharp, but then you didn't really want it to look that way. So I'm finding that with this one. I'm noticing
Yeah.
like how dark the edge is, and so it's not as forgiving as I would hope it to be.
Yeah, and that also has to do with the paper. Like the paper is some say the paper is a bigger factor in how your
Right.
painting looks than the paint.
Okay.
So as you grow and experiment as an artist, I encourage you to try different types of paper and sort of see the different results you get.
Yeah. Yeah, we have two
So-
different types. We have like 100 and I think this one was 140 pounds.
Yep.
And then one was 90 pounds.
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
definitely can
140
see the
is
difference between
you
the
can
two.
see the difference. Yeah. 140 is a bit like on the standard side, and then when you get into the top of the line stuff, it's 100% cotton. And
Oh,
then
right.
some of the more like in between ones might have like 25% cotton content or something like that.
Okay.
So that's something to look for. But
Okay.
one brand, this brand I really like, I've been getting it at art. I've been getting it at above ground arts in Toronto. And they are also online. And it's like reasonably priced. It's fluid watercolor and it comes in lots of different sizes and whatnot. And it's just reasonably priced. And it also comes in a block, which means that it's attached on two sides. So sometimes when you're painting watercolor, if your paper gets too saturated, it buckles and causes you problems. So working on a block is kind of nice because it holds it straight or holds it flat for you. So that's just one little tip. So anybody else want to show their work? I think we saw everyone who's camera on. And you don't have to show your work. No, no pressure. I don't want to traumatize anyone. I like it when everyone's just busy working. It's like, that's perfect. This is another one of my favorite embellishments. It's like a gold pen. This one's kind of running out, but I think I can get away with just doing some gold accents here. I like all things glittery and shiny and I don't know, I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff.
You're getting a thumbs up for glittery and shiny over here.
Glittery and shiny. I work with kids a lot too, so I definitely know. In fact, earlier today I went to this school that I teach at, and I brought this like case that I have with all my glitters and like different things like that in it, shiny things and little stars you can glue on and all that. And I realized right away, as soon as I opened the case, I was like, this is a mistake because I should have brought just one or two things. But there were like 15 bottles of glitter and they were all in there with their hands and it was all over the place. So cleanup was interesting for sure. So I'm going to send you guys, just to recap, I want to firstly thank you so much for coming. It's 6:56, so we'll be wrapping up. But please keep painting all evening if you like. If you're inspired and on a roll, just keep going. I absolutely love it. I am going to send you tomorrow information about the springtime florals course, which is 8 weeks long, and it's basically one 1 hour lesson every single Tuesday from 6 to 7. My goal is to make watercolor painting really easy and fun for you, and it's going to be an awesome course. And I'm going to send you instructions for the printed envelopes, which you can make out of just any printed paper that you find. Like you can buy this kind of paper at Dollarama in pads of whatever 50 for like $4 or something like that. So I just love my printed envelopes. I think they're the cutest things ever. I just have to show you this one because I'm just so extra. It's so cute. So imagine that. And I'm going to send my card to someone for Mother's Day. My mom is no longer with us, but I do have a friend. My mom's friend is on Facebook, and I call her my Facebook mom because she comments on all my posts just like my mom would if she was still with us. So I think I'm going to send this one to my mom's friend Marcel for Mother's Day, and I think that would be really cute and special. I'm curious if any of you are going to send your card or a painting or whatever to somebody special.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same, Laura Jean. My mom is also no longer with us, and I have one of her best friends is in a nursing home in Northern Ontario, and I think I'm gonna send her this card.
That is so sweet. Can you imagine how special that's going to be for her to get a hand painted card? That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That makes me so happy. All right. Any last minute questions about this workshop, watercolors in general, the course, anything else?
How much is the course, Laura Jean?
So right now, $225. That's the early bird price, and the early bird price goes on until the end of tomorrow, and then it'll be $275. If you sign up with a buddy, so 2 people, one of my hopes is that people would get this for like them and their mom, maybe in another city, would do it together, and it would be a Mother's Day gift. This is just my idea. But if you sign up with 2 people, I think it works out to $425. I somehow made it the early bird price. You save by doing a bundle, and then you save even more by doing early bird. So I will send that all along with you.
Okay, that's great.
I'll send that all along in email so you know what you're up against with that.
Yeah, because I think I want to do this course with my mom.
Oh my God, that would make me so happy. That would be wonderful. Awesome. Okay, great. Any last minute stuff? It's 6:59, so I'm gonna go pop a pizza in the oven and have some dinner. I really want to thank you all for showing up tonight. This really was fun for me. It gave me good feelings in my heart. It made my heart warm. And I'm glad to hear that some of these are going to be going out for Mother's Day. And yeah, just look for your email tomorrow in your inbox.
Thanks
All
very much.
right.
It was fun.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
being here, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.